What's up, guys? WWE Fan Tachi here. Today we have another top 5 championship matches. Today we have my top 5 favorite United States championship matches. Sorry if the camera seems a little far away. I don't know, from my view it kind of seems far away. But we do have my top 5 favorite United States championship matches. Again, this is a weekly series that replaced the Move of the Week. And so we have my top 5 favorite U.S. title matches. So we're going to start off with some honorable mentions. I only have 2 for this one. It was very hard trying to pick my favorite United States Championship matches just because there's so many good ones. And a lot of my favorites are recent United States Championship matches. Let's get to my honorable mentions. Starting off with the first honorable mention, we have John Cena versus Big Show, I believe at WrestleMania 20. Could be wrong, but I believe that this is Cena's first ever title win in the WWE. That's why it is on my honorable mentions. It's not one of my favorite matches. It's just kind of cool that the United States title was John Cena's first ever championship in the WWE. And to me, in my opinion, the U.S. title will always be the John Cena belt because he's won it so many different times. Just whenever I see this title, I think of John Cena. So honorable mentions. Next up, we have Ricochet versus Samoa Joe. This happened, what was it, Stomping Grounds that this happened? Or Extreme, I don't even remember. One of those pay-per-views. But yeah, Ricochet versus Samoa Joe. I thought the match was very good, and I loved the finish. Ricochet pinning Joe clean with his finisher, and that was just amazing to see Ricochet win his first title on the main roster, and it being the United States Championship. And I really do believe that the United States title, in my opinion, it has been one of the most prestigious titles lately, just because it's been on guys like Ricochet, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and just the feuds have been great, and I've been enjoying them a lot. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions. Now we're going to move to my top 5. Moving on to number 5. Number 5, we have AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens at SummerSlam. I believe this was the 2017 SummerSlam. I could be wrong, but I believe it was 2017 SummerSlam. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. The reason why I like this match so much is because they already had fought and AJ beat him for the championship at a live event, and I think this was their rematch or something like that. And this kind of started the Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens storyline that eventually led into the Hell in a Cell match. And I just love the controversy towards the end of the match, and then AJ Styles finally hitting his 2 finishers and retaining the U.S. title. And then eventually, I believe the title would flip-flop back and forth between Kevin Owens and AJ Styles until AJ Styles would lose it to, who was it, Baron Corbin or something like that. I really did like this match, and that's why it's number 5. Moving on to number 4, we have Roman Reigns versus Rusev at the 2016 Hell in a Cell. I believe this is the first time the United States title was ever in a Hell in a Cell match, and to me that makes the title more prestigious when the title's defended in stipulation matches, like whether it's a cage match or a Hell in a Cell or an elimination chamber or whatnot. But yeah, that's why I love this match so much, because it was pretty hardcore for a United States title match. I think they used a chain. There's steel steps involved. I mean, it is a Hell in a Cell, so of course it's going to be hardcore. But there was just a lot of prestige on this title. I think Rusev's done a really good job with the United States title. He's another guy I think of when I look at the United States Championship, just because he's held it so many different times. And I loved this feud between Roman Reigns and Rusev. And Roman Reigns ended up retaining the championship. I believe he speared him off the top of the steel steps or something. So I love that finish. And Roman Reigns retained. Pretty cool match. Tell me what you think about it in the comments down below. That's why it's number 4. Moving on to number 3, we have Kevin Owens, again, versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 33. I liked this match a lot. I heard that Vince McMahon wasn't happy with it or something like that, but there's always rumors flying around like that. I did like the match. I wasn't the biggest fan of the finish. I think Kevin Owens power-bombed him onto the side of the ring and then just put him in and pinned him. I would have preferred something else. I don't know. I mean, I probably would have preferred that Chris Jericho hits him with I don't even know. But I'm glad Kevin Owens won the match, winning the United States title for the first time. But I think the finish could have been better. But I did like the match a lot. I loved it because it was the culmination. It wasn't even really the culmination because they had a few more matches after that. but it was the first time we were going to see Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho after breaking up, after, not being friends anymore. And it was for the championship, which made it more prestigious, in my opinion. And that's why it's number 3. I really like this match. Tell me what you think about it in the comments down below. Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Moving on to number 2, we have another Rusev match. Rusev versus John Cena, I believe at WrestleMania 31, and this almost made number 1. And the reason why is because of the storytelling. You have John Cena, who is the American guy, who, he's supposed to be the hero and should be holding this championship. And then you had the bad guy, which was the Bulgarian Brute, who should not be holding the United States Championship. And you wanted John Cena to get the United States title back and had that whole feud. And then Rusev came in with the tank and all that in the beginning. And I just thought it was like a really epic moment to see John Cena beat Rusev, finally defeat Rusev for the United States Championship. I think that's one of Rusev's biggest matches in his career. And I think it is one of my favorite United States titles of all time. I just love the storytelling in the match. Super great. Cena beating Rusev to win another United States Championship. That is number 2. Now, can we get a drum roll for the number 1 spot? Boom, we have John Cena again versus Seth Rollins at the 2015 SummerSlam for the WWE Championship and the United States Championship. The only reason why this qualifies is because this was included in the match. John Cena versus Seth Rollins. Instant classic. I love this match. Whenever you get Seth Rollins versus Cena, they have a lot of chemistry. They do a lot of good stuff. Heel Rollins, I prefer heel Rollins. And, of course, face John Cena. But heel Rollins versus John Cena is just like the best thing ever. You put them in the ring, and they'll get the job done. And 5-star match, in my opinion. And I just loved the finish. What was it, Jon Stewart or something like that, comes in with the freaking chair. Seth Rollins pedigrees Cena onto the chair. 1, 2, 3. And just Jon Stewart helping Seth Rollins to win. Because I think before this, they were like feuding. I think he hated him. I think Rollins hated Jon Stewart or something like that. I really like that finish. It was a nice swerve. Seeing Rollins be double champion was really cool. And believe it or not, look at that nameplate. I know it's a little hard to see. What does it say? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the guy I have on this United States Championship just because of that moment, just because it's my favorite U.S. title match of all time. I just had to put it on the belt. Believe it or not, I don't have the Seth Rollins side plates. So if I had the Seth Rollins side plates, I could put them on the WWE Championship and then, do the whole shebang, being double champion and all that. But that is my top 5. Again, we have some honorable mentions. We had Cena versus Big Show, Ricochet versus Joe, and then my top 5 were AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Then we had Roman Reigns versus Rusev in a Hell in a Cell. Then we had Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, then Cena versus Rusev, then Cena versus Rollins. Again, I mistakenly do this all the time. It's just because I believe that these wrestlers are really good. They're just really good wrestlers, really talented wrestlers, and they put on good matches. For instance, in my first top 5, I had AJ Styles in almost every single I had AJ Styles in almost all of my matches, and I didn't even notice it. That's just because he was a great champion. And now I have Cena on honorable mentions, and then I have 2 matches from Cena on the top 5. So that says a lot about John Cena. Again, we do have multiple Rusevs on here as well, and multiple Kevin Owens. That is it for my top 5. Leave your top 5 in the comments down below. Tell me what you think about this series. Next week we will have another title. I did decide this championship because I was scrolling through and there were so many different titles. I just randomly picked one, and it was the United States Championship. So I know a lot of you wanted to see the Raw Women's title or the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. So maybe one of those will be next week. I'm not sure. Leave it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys. WWE Fan Talk Show.